no, it's not, man. It's just some idiot on there telling you what he thinks it is.
And it's a gigantic list of drugs.
Right? It's ridiculous, right? And they're going to kill themselves. And then they're like, oh, this is what I need to do to be because of Mr. Olympia. And like, no, you don't. You need.
Ben Pakulski revealed the truth. What's in bodybuilding world? Ben Pakulski, one of the smartest and intelligent guys in the bodybuilding world. He's one of the intelligent guy. So we're gonna hear and learning from him. His reveal and he telling us what's the bullshit and what's all of the not the right things in the bodybuilding that you need to know. Before we go jump up into it, please click the bell button, ring that bell. Let's go, guys. We learning from the expert Ben Pakulski, my favorite.
With using anabolics, jumping over to what they call the dark side or whatever, And I did it, of course. And then, just wondering, as a professional bodybuilder, do you face that, or is it just part of the sport? Do you just accept it, or?
So, man, my perspective now is different than when I was a kid. Obviously, as a kid growing up in Canada, I knew nothing about it. I knew it was part of the sport. I knew nothing about it. And I was very lucky to have some very good advisors very young that didn't fuck me up, because I think that's a huge part for young kids is...
That's the dark side, and that's the annoying things that Ben Pakulski said. That's a really huge part of the bodybuilding. You see the senior who really huge, who really have amount of the muscle he handle on his body, and you asking him about his cycle. Do you think they really telling the truth? And do you think they really taking what they said to all of you? It's not really true, and it's not really real. If you all guys newbie in the gym, you're gonna be one of the good food for them to getting some kind of like the marketing and to getting some kind of like the money. Trust me.
Yeah, they get these idiots telling them what to do, or they learn from Get Big, and this is what Kai Green stack is, and you're like, no, it's not, man. It's just some idiot on there telling you what he thinks it is.
And it's a gigantic list of drugs.
It's ridiculous, right? And they're going to kill themselves. And then they're like, this is what I need to do to be because of Mr. Olympia. And like, no, you don't. You need to do the smallest incremental dose so you keep moving forward. So obviously it's a part of bodybuilding, man. And
what? This is what Kai Green takes. This is what Branch Warren takes. Dorian Yates takes. Ronnie Coleman takes. What the hell are you talking about? How do you know? How do you know Dorian Yates and Ronnie Coleman taking this cycle? How do you know Kai Green really taking this cycle? It's not really makes sense. Ben Pakulski really telling us today in this video, don't hurt and don't learn from the guy who really, just looking for the money and manipulation yourself just for getting money, okay? There's so many bodybuilders out there who really not telling the truth to all of you guys. Even they are already competitors, top professional lineup. Doesn't mean they really knowing about everything, okay? They really knowing about everything, what should have putting in your body, okay? It's not really true in this world. So be careful, guys, be careful. You have to learning what's the purpose of these people telling to all of you.
The realization now is I try to advise people at least for a long time to not do it. Like, let's learn how to actually train first, because most guys go, oh, if you want to be a bodybuilder, you just got to take this. It's so much more than that, man.
Yeah.
Like, and I think the big difference between the 70s and 80s and now is back then it was a training culture. Like, you trained hard, you trained twice a day. After you were done training, what'd you do? You went to the beach, you laid on the beach, which is meditation in itself. You recovered, you connected with the earth. Now it's a drug-based culture. So people think rather than having to train harder, I just take more drugs. And that's what's the difference in the physique now. It's like people are so attached to the dose and like...
That's amazing and awesome advice from Ben Pakulski to all of us, okay? I'm already agree with this. I'm always watch and listen to all of the podcasts, the people who I believe and I trust, and I really believe they always telling the truth. If you want to start taking enhance yourself and you're ready to taking the risk for what's gonna be happening in your future on your life, yeah, learning train as a naturally athlete first, or train as long as natural that you can, and start taking this because it could be allow you to really learning first how to doing it properly, rather in nutrition training and all of the cycle what you all want to taking in your body, right? You really need more dedication and education because what you're putting in your body, it's a really black and white. Some people, if you're taking this, you're gonna feel get this benefit. Some people said if you're taking this, you're gonna get this benefit and get this risky. It's a lot of the black and white. There's not a real answer. Okay, so you have to learning first.
Well, they think the drugs do everything, and they don't really do much at all, really. Like, when you really look at it, I think the biggest favor the world did to Mark and I was just keeping us off of steroids and away from them until we were, like, in our, late 20s and early 30s and stuff, because just being that young and diving into it, it would have been detrimental to both of us. And so, like, looking back on it, I go, like, I'm glad I didn't try it when I was young,
Yeah.
Because I didn't know enough about it.
Yeah, I was very lucky, man, like I said, to be exposed to some bright people who, one, got me good things that were, not
real,
not crap, and I didn't need a lot. As soon as I
Well, yeah, congratulations if you're not start taking all of these things, all of the steroids that we're talking about in this video. Whether you're taking or not, you can be smart at the same time. And you're lucky because you're smart and you can be still healthy if you're really taking smart. But yeah, it's not about lucky or not, whether you're taking steroids or not. It depends on how you can handle it and how you can smart about all of these things.
Do you think people can be leaner without drugs versus with them?
Well, it depends what's the definition of the leaner that you means. If you means like a professional bodybuilder, like a shredded, like a 5 and under 5% body fat, man, to be honest, man, it's hard. Okay, it's hard. Even if you naturally, it's really hard and almost impossible for you because that's really need consistency. It's really need more dedication, and it's really need more. Of course, you're gonna taking all of the drugs that you need, but for the naturally standpoint without drugs, it's hard. I'm not saying you can, and I'm not saying you cannot also, but it's hard, man, without help any some kind like all of this stuff.
I've seen some of the they're drug tested, so I don't you don't know what the hell people are doing.
Right.
But sometimes the drug tested athletes have like kind of a harder look, like because taking testosterone and things like that can cause some bloating and some things of that nature. So
absolutely,
for people that are listening that just want to get like lean and get in good shape, you can accomplish a lot of these things.
I'll tell you my opinion on that is that's a great question too. I understand your question now. I think I advise every single person who wants to compete natural first, because as we just spoke about, what do bodybuilders do to get in shape? Most bodybuilders don't want to train. They don't want to diet. They just take more shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to take clenbuterol, I'm going to take ephedrine, I'm going to take those other things. It's a drug-based culture, rather than like, hey man, I'm just going to fucking diet. I'm just going to do some hard cardio. I'm actually going to do some hard leg workouts to burn some fat. Man, it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. You guys know that. Is it, like, a lot of times that's why I respect natural athletes so much. Is like, these guys are putting in the work, man. Like, it's hard, man. It's hard to get in shape naturally. You're gonna suffer. So I suggest everybody do that at least once in their life, and like learn how to diet, learn how to suffer.
A couple pounds of muscle is fucking brutal.
Yeah,
it really is. Takes a lot of dedication, and that's where the 6 meals a day and the rest and the sleep and recovery and everything's going to be. I mean, it's always important, but it's going to even be that much more important.
Yeah.
Well, of course, if you want to have a harder look like a top professional bodybuilder or like a top professional competitors out there in a Mr. Olympia, yeah, of course you have to diet, man. Of course, there's no way you can get in shape without a diet. That's really the dumbest thing in the world, okay? If you really diet and if you really train hard, plus you edit all of these steroids that you take, it's gonna be perfectly results. It's gonna be perfect, rather than people who just doing it naturally rather than just, diet and train hard. It's gonna be different results. It's real. So now you're having, guys, that's a little bit discussion with Ben Pakulski, and I hope this video can really motivate and open-minded to all of you guys, whether you want to taking all of these things or not, and whether you wanna start taking cycle and putting on your body or not. So hopefully this can helpful and open-minded to all of you to be careful more and more. Thank you so much guys for watching. I'm your host Joan Sagala, signing out. May God bless you all.